To understand resistance in slave societies, particularly in Atlantic slave societies, is to understand one of the key things about slavery was the process of dehumanization, that you had to make the enslaved feel that he or she is not entitled either to rights or the treatment that benefits a human being. And therefore, one of the things about so-called resistance, or what people call resistance, or what some people have called refusal, in my view, is the way in which the enslaved in small ways attempted to regain their own conception of themselves as human beings. Enslaved Africans in North America resisted their bondage through various powerful means, challenging the economic system of slavery. Their acts of defiance and resistance persisted until the abolition of slavery in 1865 with the 13th Amendment. So, how did they do it? Throughout American history, enslaved individuals demonstrated remarkable resistance against their bondage, with the Stono Rebellion, Gabriel Prosser's conspiracy, Denmark's Vesey's plot, and Nat Turner's rebellion standing out as prominent revolts. However, only the Stono Rebellion and Nat Turner's rebellion achieved successful outcomes, as other planned rebellions were thwarted by white Southerners. The triumph of enslaved people in Saint-Domingue's revolt in 1804 left enslavers in the United States apprehensive, further complicating rebellion attempts. Despite the immense challenges posed by outnumbering white populations and restricted access to firearms, enslaved individuals recognized the difficulty of launching uprisings. Additionally, the halt in importing Africans for sale into bondage in 1808 led to a reliance on natural population growth among enslaved individuals, creating fears of reprisal against family members if rebellions occurred. Running away emerged as another significant form of resistance among enslaved individuals. While many freedom seekers only found temporary respite, seeking refuge in nearby forests or visiting relatives on different plantations, their motivations varied. Some fled to avoid severe punishment. Others sought relief from excessive workloads, while some simply yearned to escape the bonds of slavery. However, a fortunate few managed to escape permanently, establishing hidden communities known as maroon communities in nearby forests and swamps. As northern states began to abolish slavery following the Revolutionary War, the North became a beacon of freedom for countless enslaved individuals. Word spread that following the North Star could lead to liberation, with instructions sometimes conveyed covertly through spirituals. The spiritual, "Follow the Drinking Gourd," concealed references to the Big Dipper and the North Star, likely serving as a guide for freedom seekers venturing northward towards Canada. Well, the question remains, what strategies do you think enslaved individuals employed to elude capture and find freedom? Whether through secret networks, maroon communities, or hidden messages? Share your captivating theories and reflections in the comments below. In terms of running away, it's actually more common for that to be temporary, just running away for a few hours to visit a spouse on another plantation. Running away for a few days is kind of a way to protest against labor conditions, if you're unhappy about something, but in general, most runaways ultimately come back voluntarily. What they often did is a way to kind of negotiate with their masters. Kind of showing that I can run away whenever I want, if you don't let me visit my wife more, if you don't let me leave alongside of my children, I'm gonna do this again. Escaping slavery was a difficult task, requiring individuals to make tough choices and face severe consequences if caught. Those in the Upper South had better odds due to their proximity to the North. Young men, often separated from their families, had a slightly easier time escaping. The formation of the Underground Railroad provided support to freedom seekers, with Harriet Tubman being a renowned conductor. Many relied on themselves, strategically choosing holidays or days off to buy time. Tactics like marking scents, stealing horses, and stowing away on ships were employed. Historians estimate that around 100,000 individuals achieved freedom during the 19th century. Their determination and courage continue to inspire as a testament to their fight against slavery. What do you think were the most challenging aspects of running away from slavery? And what ingenious methods do you believe freedom seekers used to overcome those obstacles? Keep the conversation burning in the comment section. Moving on. Enslaved individuals in America exhibited various forms of resistance, primarily through day-to-day acts of rebellion. These acts including sabotaging tools and setting fire to buildings as a means of indirectly striking back at their enslavers. Feigning illness, pretending ignorance, and intentionally slowing down work were additional methods employed by both men and women to assert their autonomy. Women, who often worked in households, seized opportunities to undermine their enslavers, as exemplified by instances of poisoning. Moreover, women faced the burden of bearing children for the benefit of their enslavers, leading to speculation about their potential use of birth control or abortion to prevent their offspring from experiencing slavery. Despite overwhelming odds against successful uprisings or permanent escape, most enslaved individuals resisted through individual actions. Additionally, they nurtured hope and resisted the system of bondage by forming a unique culture and maintaining religious beliefs. The resilience and resourcefulness exhibited by these individuals highlight their extraordinary strength in the face of severe persecution. Most of the time, enslaved people did what we call everyday resistance. So they resisted slavery in tiny little ways every day. So enslaved people might, if they were working, if they were picking cotton, they might pick really slowly and just not pick a lot that day. If they were asked to go get water from the stream, they might walk really slowly so that they had a little more free time while they were on the walk and they were on their own. They might do things that were extreme but still subtle, like they might poison the food of the person who owned them or just make them kind of sick, things like that. Theft emerged as another prevalent form of resistance among enslaved individuals. They would pilfer various items such as fruits, vegetables, livestock, tobacco, liquor, and even money from their masters. Particularly common was the theft of food, justified by multiple factors. Firstly, slave rations were often inadequate to sustain the physical demands of plantation labor, leading hungry slaves to believe that the master's abundance should be shared with those who produced it. Secondly, slaves recognized the paradoxical nature of being accused of theft by the masters. As the masters claimed ownership over the slaves themselves, slaves questioned how they could steal anything belonging to the master. After all, the master's ownership extended to everything the slave possessed. When a slave claimed a master's chicken, for instance, they saw it as merely transferring it to their own stomach, as Frederick Douglass expressed, taking the master's meat from one container and placing it in another. This act of theft served as a subversive response to the conditions of bondage and the power dynamics imposed upon them. Well, from rebellions to day-to-day acts of defiance, and from daring escapes to the formation of unique culture, their stories are a testament to the indomitable human spirit. We invite you to continue the conversation in the comments below. Together, let's honor their bravery and ensure that their stories are never forgotten.